We're actually recording. Red means recording.
All right.
Yeah, the reason I'm saying we're actually recording is because we actually recorded 30 minutes before this episode, and it wasn't until the batteries died that when I put new batteries in and pressed record, it said insert SD card, and I was like, this is ridiculous. There had been an SD card in here the whole time, and there wasn't. So this is
you couldn't hear our hearty conversation.
Yeah. Basically, we're like gonna have to restart our natural persona. It's all gonna be fake. We're gonna act like we never heard each other before.
Yeah.
And we actually just heard each other.
Yeah.
No, but it's still gonna be a good episode.
Yeah, of course. So welcome to the.
I was burping. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was actually burping and hoping you wouldn't start that because I was like, no, what if the burps get in the recording? Hello, I'm Nick.
And I'm Azero.
And this is Confidently Uncertain. I didn't actually think we would do that in unison.
Yeah.
We actually
well, I kind of caught on right when like the first like when you said the "ka," and I was like, oh, okay, we're doing.
I was gonna say cock and balls. I'm ready for this.
Okay.
Welcome to Cock and Ball. Why would it be cock and balls?
Write in the comments if it's really corny of us doing that.
Yeah.
We'll keep doing it anyway.
All right. Yeah. So some things we did want to touch on too is and look, now we're gonna say like the fucking agenda we have because we did talk about 30 minutes ago. Like we know what we want to hit again.
It's hard to fake that since we already got it. We got some of it out of our system.
So maybe we'll cut some things out. I mean, not cut them out. Like I feel like now we know what to say. We want to be more direct, you know. So but there's a lesson for all you people who want to be audio engineers. Look for that red light that tells you things are recording actually, and don't just think, oh, I'm hearing you through the headphones means it's recording.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell some people about what I've been going through lately, and this is like a conversation me and Azero had earlier this week. But there's this thing, insecurity happening inside of me, and it revolves around like the fact that I've taken a semester off from school to focus on building my portfolio, and even to help ensure I have time for that, I got offered a job for full-time at my job, and I rejected it. I rejected more hours, more money, health care, and all those other types of assurance they would have offered, and I rejected it for I can have the flexibility to work on my stuff. And I don't just mean like, coming home earlier. I mean like having 3 days off as opposed to 4 and utilizing it. I'm not going to act like Saturday through Monday it's going to be like, oh, I'm only working, I'm only writing, I'm only building performances, I'm only like editing, like, because like that's acting like I don't have friends, family, maybe any other type of event I like to go to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I rejected it. And when people around work kind of like bring up, when we talk about jobs and somehow it comes up about like, oh, you ever thought about being full-time? It's no more me saying, oh, that'd be interesting. Maybe if they offer it to me. It's now the answer of, they did offer it to me. And I said no. And to explain why, and it's not on them, it's really a me thing. I am like very nervous to get it out. I'm very, very self-conscious about like, what if I say this and they think that's absolutely stupid? They think it's just stupid of me to be like, you didn't take more money, you didn't take health care, And I found this insecurity in me before when I was telling people I took a semester off to build my portfolio, to the point in which I was describing that to somebody. It was a friend of a friend, and in the end, I said, I just wish I knew the right way to say this that doesn't make it sound like I'm making like a mistake or I'm uncertain. And they said, you said it just fine right now. Yeah. Like they encouraged me. They thought it was a great idea. And that's what they got from what I was saying, that this is a great idea, something I'm passionate about, something that a lot of people should take seriously. And here I was still thinking like, no one wants to hear that. No, don't keep that a secret. Don't say that out loud. And again, it's like, that is why it's like, it's an insecurity of this decision because it's just me.
Yeah.
No one has said anything otherwise.
Yeah. And right now it's a process of you accepting that right now, or is it still something that's like heavily trudging through your
It's
mind?
something I have to tell myself is okay. And I mean tell myself people being honest, but I think another thing is that there is a risk to it.
Yes.
And this insecurity is it's cowardness. It wants to say this is a bad idea before I back away. I don't take that risk anymore because it is risky to.
Yes.
You know, what we talked about before is this this formula to life, and it should be, you know, you're from like age, whenever you start preschool, like if this is age 5 to 18, you're going to school. And then college is an option, but why the fuck would you not go to college? Go to college and just keep going to college, keep going to college. Never stop, just get this done as soon as possible, because after that, you get a job, get a full-time job, one that will support you. And I know there's people who talk about taking breaks before, but you know, not everyone encourages the break taking, you know?
Right.
Some people, when they want to take a year off between high school and college, so there's people that encourage it and people that go, why? You know?
Yeah.
That sounds like a waste of time.
Yeah.
So here I am, you know, with the mindset that's like, oh, you know, if you got the opportunity to get more money, take it and get school list done as soon as possible. I'm doing the opposite of both. I rejected more money, and I'm slowing down my college process. And that's actually even been something I've been doing for a while, as I've never became a full-time student. I think I was only a full-time student in my first year, but then I always kept my classes, like I did less classes before I could work.
Right.
And I mean, that's still true, but it was like, I don't think I could, I think I could do, I could honestly take more classes than I was doing, but I always made it like, no, I don't want to hinder myself too much. I don't want to overexert myself.
Yeah. And honestly, that's pretty common, actually, now that I think of it. There's many, like even in Las Positas, a lot of people did that. They were part-time students, they worked more. Right, so they did that a lot more prevalently. I think my brother did that even when he was in San Jose State. He'd take less units so he could work at his company much more, and that paid off at the end.
Does he work there now?
No, that company closed down. He actually now works at like a third party of Google, so it worked out really well for him, because a lot of people now that graduated don't have experience because they're so busy getting straight A's and all that. And my brother's like, oh, well, I have a.
I wonder if the timeline's the same from like being full-time student, then getting the experience, and then being a part-time student while gaining the experience and working. If that timeline, if it takes the same amount of time to do that stuff.
Well, I think it's not even like the time part. I think now it's like, I think the benefit of it is now you're conditioned to know what it's like to work in that environment, stress wise and like deadline wise. Like you it's nothing new, you know. It's nothing that's introduced at a later age, in which it's like now you have to juggle hella shit together, right? It's like, oh, I've already been through this. It's just another day and another walk in the park for me.
Yeah,
it's really nice. Actually, on that note, for my brother, real quick, because it also has to do with like.
Yeah, shout out to the E man.
I know.
Not that he sells E. He's he's actually
that's
his
another
name
guy.
Starts with an E.
That's another guy. We don't talk about him in the podcast.
Yeah.
But no,
don't talk about Ian.
So
Ian the E man.
Ian the E.
We actually know Ian. I hope he listens to this and he has to like constantly comment like, no, I don't sell it. And then he reveals his identity.
I know.
We could know many Ians.
I know, we have plenty.
Yeah.
But so I have a brother. His name is Ezer. Shout out to Ezer. He went to San Jose State, but at the same time he was working like in his field. So he started working when he was 16 in his field, because he was just that good at it. He was that good at his whatever he did, and he always believed like work over school, right? And that's still to this day. The last 2 weeks of school, like on his senior year, you have to. I'm telling a very rough version of the story, but you have to pretty much submit like a project / thesis, in which you have to invent something and put it in kind of like a science fair type this thing, and a lot of judges go around.
Senior year of high school or college?
College.
Okay.
Sorry. So senior year of college. So this is like the big shot. Like, oh, this is where you introduce yourself. This is where you like meet those people like that might hire you and all that. And this is also first place, second place, third place tier, like that type of competition.
And first place goes to the potato clock. You can never really get sick of a classic.
Yeah, and then actually,
And they are drinking a classic Coke.
it's actually a tie between the Mentos Volcano. You know, and the
I've
Coke.
never seen that before. It's all over the internet, but I've never seen it.
I've never seen it. Apparently, it's a meme. But they have all semester to do it. To do this project, right? They had all semester to like plan it out, like all of his classmates. And my brother is still working full time at this point. What he did, he was like, in 2 weeks, he was like, oh, I forgot I have to do this, right? Yeah, I had to do this. So funny. He takes, I think, like less than a week to invent like a device that cleans your toothbrush with UV rays and all that in a matter of like 30 seconds. And he submitted to festival. He got second place.
Wow.
Second place for a couple days in which he told me, yeah, every day I go into class, there'd be groups like freaking like taking notes, like doing research and all that, and like working so hard at it, and they didn't even place. Right? It's like because he knew what they're looking for, and he'd already been in the field of like whatever.
Oh, so like him
project he's
doing the
doing.
job
Yeah,
was the thing that like
it was like I've been through like
it's not just knowing it, but he also knew what they liked.
Exactly. He knew what they liked, and he knew what they were looking for. It's like, okay, I could. This is a side project for me. Everyone else is like a huge deal, but this side project for me. But it pertains to like what we're talking about, because in your situation, I feel like since instead of doing the school focusing on your school and its projects itself, you're applying your knowledge to like I guess the real life experience. And when you come back, I feel like it will make you much more efficient in your time with school and efficient in your time with your job. So I'm saying, because you already have that experience. So that's why I think that's another reason why it's not a waste of time. Even with like your job and everything like that. Yeah, and I was also saying before it wasn't recording that that pretty much like there's a lifestyle inflation, and we're talking about what is freedom like. For
When we're talking about money, yeah, something we talked about in that lost episode.
That lost episode that's literally lost. Like it's not gonna be on Patreon.
It sucked because it was no longer a podcast. I just had to sit here and listen to you for 30 minutes. That was terrible. All right, there was no necking from it. I was just kidding. We talked about basically like that idea of like more money is better. Yeah, and something I mentioned was I said more money meant more freedom. And you asked me why, and I think that's what you're asking again.
Yeah, going back to that now.
Yeah. So basically, well, my definition of freedom is one that's like, it's like you don't have any worries about what you could do. Right. I think that's pure freedom. If you want to like go, say, to like freaking Disneyland, you could go to Disneyland. You know that if you want to go to Disneyland in that like, I think actually like fucking crazy freedom would be like, I could go tomorrow even, Yeah. I think it's only like the CEOs are like, I'm just taking the day off. I don't have to ask anyone.
That's like,
but let's say, you
God tier freedom.
You want to go to Disneyland. Yeah. All right. And you're like, I'm going to plan to go to Disneyland next month. You had the money for Disneyland. You had the money to get to Disneyland. And when you're in Disneyland, you have money to get food, and you don't go, should I buy food here or should I pack some? No, you're just like, I have the money to do this. And that's why I feel like it's freedom, because like you don't have that nagging thing in the back of your head that's saying like, whoa, don't do that. Don't get this. Be careful with that. Or maybe not now, Yeah. And so that's why it's like when I think of like more money, it's like knowing I have that safety net of money no matter what happens. It's like I still have money. If I crash my car right now and I have car insurance, but let's say I still have to pay some things off. I wouldn't be like, fuck, I can't do it. No, if I crash my car, I'd be like, that sucks. I had to put my car in the shop and wait, but I could afford it.
Yes.
And what that means, I'm not saying I'm a millionaire. It's just mean like, no, I can afford this, or I can at least pay with my credit card and know I can pay it off later.
Yes, definitely. I agree with you in the sense of like it's nice to not like whenever I go out, I have to like really check my bank account again,
Yeah.
like just make sure I'm on budget and all that. Like I totally get that. But there's a certain point where I agree with you for the freedom part. I also think like I think since I was raised a different way than you, like you definitely were raised with like, TV, you were raised with like, just all this opportunity to like kind of immerse yourself in
TV, yeah.
Yeah, in TV and all that.
Yeah.
Like basically to give you to give everyone a backstory, I didn't really grow up with cartoons that much like that everyone else grew up with. I didn't really have like like cable. I didn't have like I couldn't go out all the time. Like I was very sheltered. Me and my brother. In a sense, we're kind of technically first generation. So my definition, like the stuff that I was already raised with, just kind of carried on to my adulthood. So I'm not really into like going out like to buy movies, to do all that stuff. So technically, for me, my freedom is like, I guess, much more simplistic. Mine is more like, hey, let's just make sure I pay my rent, and like if I want to go on a date with my girlfriend, like I don't have to be looking at my stuff. So mine's more of the lifestyle stability rather than like, oh, the freedom to go have fun, in a sense. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I got it.
Yeah. But do you feel like you need to do that? Like, do you feel like do you want to have like that freedom in a sense of like for your personal gain?
I want to do it.
Right.
I love experiences like that. Like things I find calming is, say, like just going to a little restaurant, a cafe, and just eating there. Like that's the stuff I find calming. That's what relaxes me. Or if I want to go read something, there's one thing to read it here at my house, and it's another thing to read it at like a cafe, or to enjoy some pieces of nature. I think I'm only really saying botanical gardens is the one that costs money. Or even to like go to a museum. Like these are things that I like,
Yeah.
I'm a type of person that's like, I always describe, I sometimes compare myself to like a dog, but it's like, you can't keep me inside all day. I need to go out for a walk. And yeah, I literally actually have done stuff in which I just walked in the block and come back.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like, I need a bit more than that. I need some type of like social engagement, even if it's just with the cashier and I'm like speaking to them to just order something, or if it's just listening to the environment around me. A change of environment really helps me. And, you could get that with a park, but I also like the other options, you can't be a guy going to a restaurant not buying anything. One, they won't give you a table.
I get it, and it's like we've been living here. Well, I've been living here for a very long time. You've been living for almost 3 years, right?
3 years, yeah.
And I
think 4 years now.
Is it 4 years?
No, it's 3 years.
3 years. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure you can relate to this. I feel like I still barely know San Francisco because of the fact that like. Like saying like, oh, if you want to really enjoy San Francisco to its pinnacle, you do need money.
Yeah.
There are some things that, like, there's no way around it.
Like to get somewhere, period.
Yeah, to get somewhere, right?
Tell me to go to a park. Oh,
yeah.
I can find parking. I need to get an Uber,
Yeah, well, yeah, but like even like, oh, there's like some pinnacle points where you want, like you can go to like look at the painted ladies, you could go to like Twin Peaks, yada yada, all that stuff. That's a minimal amount of money. But then there's like key bars, that we still want to check out. There's still restaurants, like you said, that you still want to like be able to afford.
Food's amazing when it's good.
Yes, I totally
some
agree.
restaurants, like this one Chef Maman, it's a French restaurant, but it's like the experience. Like you don't have to buy the appetizers and get the drinks with it, but it's like, why are you going here? We're just gonna get a fucking panini,
Yeah, and honestly, there is, I guess, an insecurity part of mine would be like if I experienced that, I feel like I wouldn't be able to have enough of it. That's why, like, I think it was half the reason why I didn't go to Chef Maman.
Chef is
Chef.
No, Chev.
Chev?
Like a Z. Chez.
Oh,
Chez.
Yeah, Chez. Yeah. It's all like Chez my mom, whatever.
Chevy's Maman.
The French restaurant. The reason why, half the reason why I didn't want to go for a long time with you guys, what the first half was money, right? But the second half was like, I feel like if I do this too much, I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it's like, ultimately, that didn't happen. Thank God. Not that I didn't enjoy it. I loved it. But it's like, I don't need to go here like every month.
But see, that's the type of thinking that, is a limiting thinking, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you're afraid to go somewhere, and the reason you're afraid is because you don't want to enjoy it, because if you enjoy it, it means you're gonna go there more often, spend more money. That's limiting.
Yeah.
Like I want to be able to enjoy things in life.
Right.
I don't want thinking like, oh no,
Yeah.
I don't want to ever be a time like, what if I enjoy it? No,
Yeah.
that's bad to enjoy things.
It's something that I still struggle with because like that, I kind of forcefully limit myself and like be happy with the things that I have.
Yeah.
I do realize like there are some things that I still want to try, but it's just the fact that I just don't have the money to do so. So I just kind of condition my mind like, you don't need it. It's fine.
Yeah, I kind of see it in you too. Because of the things you want to do, the things you like, and I know like then he will like this thing too.
Yeah.
And then you still go, no, I prefer to be inside. Like, no, you fucking don't. You literally go to karaoke and love a crowd, so I know you're extroverted like that. No, you don't prefer to be by yourself inside more than anything, you know?
Right. Well, I mean, like, there is a point where I still enjoy being inside, like, because that's where my tablet is. And I actually legitimately love painting all day. Like I do like doing that, but there is a point where there are some things that I want to do.
You need to go take your walk.
Take a walk, do all that stuff.
You, as much as we say all day, like if you actually sat in the chair and in one, I can't imagine anybody just being okay. Like, I mean, they could do it, but being okay, being in one room the whole day.
The whole day, no, definitely not. There was a point where I was unemployed and I did that all day, and like at first it felt, the first like I think like 2 days it felt liberating because I was like, I could do this, like I could just work on my portfolio and do that. But then after a while you feel sick.
Yeah.
Because you're in a room. There's like, you feel like the air is
physically
suffocating.
sick. Mine actually gets me physically sick.
No, I agree. Mine is physically sick too. You feel like your blood is like sludgy because you're like you're like just not moving around. You're in this tight. We don't have big rooms, we have very small rooms, and it's like, well, it just felt suffocating, So I understand, like, you need to go out.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go out.
That's also the kind of the ironic thing. You were indoors all day when you were unemployed.
Yeah.
And what would have helped you like feel physically and mentally better is like, oh, well, if I go out and do something, but then that's gonna spend money, and you're not making money currently.
Yeah, exactly.
So you had the time to go out and try these things. You had the money for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it goes back to I definitely don't disagree with you that more money can equal, like, I guess, more freedom, especially in the mental wise.
And I'll also say, like, adjusting my lifestyle to like not to go eat out as much as I used to.
Yeah.
It showed me like the things I can do and other ways to like kind of have fun, like fun with cooking, or feeling good that like, oh, I made this, I utilized these ingredients and made this. So it's not like when I think of freedom, it's like I have to eat out every day. That's I have to go to Disneyland. It's honestly just like if I wanted to.
Yeah.
If there was like a day in which, say like work was more stressful than usual, and I'm like, you know what I'm really craving right now? Just a Pete's coffee. A Pete's coffee. Like that, I would just I'm just gonna chill at a Pete's for a bit. That's the time. Or if it was like, oh, you know what? I've been cooking for myself every day this week. I'm gonna go out maybe just once a week. Just that's when I buy something. And I do still buy food, but it's like, it's not a once a week thing, and I think that would be kind of nice. My family lived off of that way. For every Friday was pizza day, and I thought that
sounds really nice.
It was. I thought it was actually like a thing all families did.
Right.
And then it turns out I lived like the fucking like child's dream. Like, you had pizza once a week?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Goodness.
Yeah. It's funny too because sometimes it would be Chinese food, and you're like, oh, okay. But it was like, I found out the reason they did that, it wasn't like there was some tradition in America. They said like, we cook every day for 6 days in a week, and you kind of get exhausted. You just want to order something in. And it's like, that's kind of true. Especially like Friday is when everyone comes back from work, and it's 5 days of work hitting on them.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
You don't want to do anything. You don't want to do
Yeah,
anything.
and then you think too, what the kids like?
Yeah, what the kid.
You know?
Yeah.
Kids will always like pizza. They can have it for like the whole day. They can have it for 3 days in a row. Which
Yeah.
weekends were amazing. Leftover pizzas for lunch.
You know, to go on the topic of like going out and doing all that, have you found a hobby besides just
Besides writing, filming, performing.
No, actually, seriously.
Yeah.
Besides that, because I'm starting to think like, because for me, yeah, it's the same thing. Like, I love painting and all that. That's something I do in my free time.
Mhm.
But lately, even just going to karaoke by myself, I've been feeling a lot more relaxed when I come back and paint for fun.
I think I consider my hobbies being like reading, watching movies, and video games.
Yeah.
As like maybe how standard that stands for some people. Like, oh, I want to watch this movies. It's like, no, there's something different to it. Like, it's not just like there's a lot of movies I want to catch up with, a lot of stories, a lot of pieces of entertainment that I do get pleasure when I'm like I caught up with that. You know,
Yeah.
And it is my time to relax because like I like to give myself at least an hour to relax when I come home.
Right.
Like I don't try to go from work to work.
Uh-huh.
And it does make a difference, you know, that
Yes.
what I'm doing, like I know this video game makes no difference in my life right now.
Yeah.
And I'm solely doing this for entertainment. Isn't that great though? I'm solely doing this for entertainment.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I get influences from. So it's like randomly getting an influence from just something I was enjoying.
Yeah.
And same with like even reading and watching movies, just like it's just enjoying that stuff. And then other hobbies, I mean, I also like playing the drums.
Mhm.
I could be a drummer for a band. I know my skills aren't the best, but my skills work.
Yeah.
work for like jamming, and it's just nice to just like, yeah, I have that skill too.
Yeah.
You know, we could count rapping too.
Yeah. I mean, like that's something like I hear you like freestyle rapping and like in your room, like whenever I don't know, like you're just blasting like a.
I don't know if we ever actually mentioned this, but I am actually a rapper. Like not just a guy going like over here and look at that. Look at me, I'm cool with the hat. Like I actually like studying like other rappers, taking influence, practicing and performing that.
Yeah.
For anyone just looking like that sounds kind of geeky. I mean, I am geeky, but not for that shit. All right.
Yeah. Well, that does count as a hobby because that's something that's like that's.
Oh, I wasn't sure if it counts as a hobby.
I think it counts as a hobby.
I meant like when you're like, oh, but something other than writing, and because I do like rapping now. I actually technically do it professionally.
I would say, yeah. I would say, well, I guess in that sense, like, I guess something that you kind of go off your career flow and go and tap into something like more liberating in a sense. Not saying that writing and all that isn't liberating, but it's still part of your career. You know, like for me, something that I mentioned like karaoke. I really like singing. I really like doing that. That is something that's not related to like what I'm doing.
I think it has absolutely no stress to it because if you messed up, you're like, whatever. Am I gonna be a professional karaoke singer?
Yeah,
you know?
I do not plan on being a singer anytime soon.
I
I'm not qualified for that.
I can see what you mean by like when I'm writing. As much as it's fun for me, I do want this to be the best piece of work ever if I can use it as a portfolio.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
But if I messed up, it would hit me harder than if I messed up on the drums.
Because like, oh, I wasted all this time. But in like but if you're like freestyle, I'm just like, okay, I could fucking do it again, right? I could do that. But we mentioned this in I think like the first podcast, but it's like taking time outside your work is just as important as doing your work. You know, like that's how you come back with fresh eyes. That's how you refresh. Like
you get yourself excited.
Yeah, exactly. You get yourself excited. So, no, one hobby that I really want to do, is I want to go back to underwater rugby. That was so fun.
Underwater rugby.
Underwater rugby. It's exactly what it is. Basically, wrestling for a ball under the water, 20 feet down. Just exhilaration, adrenaline.
I'm picturing like every movie I've seen in which like a guy fights a monster or another man under the water. Yeah. And they're like, it's life or death. Like, there's like, no, you're not getting away from me.
Yeah. No, it's literally like, dude, like, it's like, it's still, it's unsafe, but at the same time, like, there's boundaries. Like if someone sees you like, oh, like struggling, they're gonna stop the game. Like, hey, you okay? Right? But like, there's that exhilaration of like, oh man, like this is like gonna. I'm not an aggressive person,
Yeah.
but I do like the exhilaration of like the adrenaline just rushing through like for that goal.
But, so is this why like you've been like carrying like brass knuckles in your swim bag?
First of all, that's not my swim bag.
Also, I should make a note. Because I've been hearing a lot of it, and I don't know if it's gonna come in the recording. We are recording at a different time than usual. People are home. If you guys don't know, I just recorded in my room. But anyway, someone is taking a shower. There's not like ghosts stomping around here. Like, oh, you guys hear that step? Yeah. You
Oh, I completely forgot. I forgot that this was morning.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to my windowless room.
Yeah.
You know, it's whatever time you want it to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I'm never late for work. On a side note, I'm meeting with my boss about my late tardiness.
No, but like that's something I really want to do because that's something like, oh, that's exercise, but it's also really fun, right? And I used to play water polo in college and high school, and that's something kind of related to that, only much more, in my opinion, much more liberating because like one, this is like a for fun sport. This isn't like I'm on a team or anything like that. We just it's like street basketball. Like you just gather up, 2 teams, do that. Right?
You're not like trying to impress a coach. And like,
yeah, put me in, coach. I know a guy. It's like,
yeah,
no.
they're like, we have to put him in.
Yeah, but it is like $10 every game, like every scrimmage. So it's like it racks up. So I'm trying to find a way in which I can like shift around my money spending so I can do that because that legitimately makes me happy. So I don't know, like finding that type of stuff. Before we get into that, what have you been working on this week?
What have I been working on this week?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, because I feel like
I'll have to answer that next week. No, I was kidding.
Oh, okay, I was like, really?
Well, what I've been working on lately. So, I don't think I brought this up in the podcast, but I've performed in this improv freestyle rap group called Fuck, with a period at the end in all caps. And we had our first hour-long show and we recorded the whole thing, and I grabbed it all and made this promotional video just for like fun. But then it made me want to like, like there's people who ask us like, where can we follow you? We're starting to get like, I started getting people who are familiar with us and look forward to our performances. That I'm going to start that social media. So I'm really excited about that. I've been watching the video a lot for like 2 weeks. All right. But I'm waiting until like, the right time, which I think is after 4th of July.
Yeah. Like probably next week.
Yeah. But once people listen to this, they're going to think it comes next week. So you're probably going to see the video if you follow me already, and get that kind of promotion. But that was like really fun to make because it was a different type of directing.
Yeah.
It was this, when you're directing and you're on the set, you think about like, oh, I want these shots, so let me film those shots. And this was, I want to make a video and I only have these shots. These are the shots I have. And let's see what I can make with it. It was almost like it was almost like putting a puzzle together, like I know these things could like work next to each other somewhere. And I was able to do it, and I was like, wow, this is fucking amazing, if I do say so myself. Like, to be honest, it was something that was like, this honestly, like, no one asked for it, and it didn't even need to be made. In fact, you kind of look at everything it was, it's like, this might have not been able to be made. It's like, that was because of me. Like, if I got someone else to make this video, they wouldn't make this video.
Right. It has your touch. Like you made it. Like it's like no one can duplicate what you did.
Yeah.
What you do.
Yeah. It has my sense of humor in it. It has my style. It also like I edited some shots within like just by cropping. So yeah, it's just knowing that like even if someone got the same shots I would have, I want to make a different thing. Yeah. And so that's exciting for me. That's and there's another thing that was like I wanted to be right, but it was also like but no one's asking for this, I'm so excited. I'm almost done with it. I kept thinking like, I was done with it, but for 3 days I was like, but what else do I need to add? Like I didn't want to stop,
Yeah, but then you have to press the pause button or stop. Like, okay, time.
And in the realm of editing, I've also been like adding sound to Hide. Been talking with
the Foley work, right?
Foley work, but also sound design. Because so the thing about Hide is that there's no dialogue in it, and it's a horror film. It's basically like one long chase,
Right.
But the main sounds that I really just needed was like breathing and steps. Like the subtle things like a grab of the couch or someone sliding on the wall.
Mhm.
But it was just like, getting all these, it's not making me feel the world.
Right.
And what I had to do though was actually make this horror ambience.
Mhm.
That's what I needed. And it's like, well, what is it? Like, what is like that horror sound? What is it when it's quiet? What is something that makes this feel horrific? And some things I did was like, I wanted to get like this whispering wind, almost like it's someone breathing, and like right at your neck. And even thinking like, well, what about like when the AC's on? It was like it's a droning sound,
Right.
and it was really fun because I made it. I put 4 layers together, and it's actually making the sound I really like.
Yeah. Wow.
And how I did it all. And I hope people think about this after they watch it. But what I did was I recorded my air filter, I recorded my computer fan, and of course slowed it down and changed the pitch. And then for the whispering effect, I did just go like I was just breathing into it and holding stuff, and I think it really worked.
Yeah.
And I'm working with a sound mixer with this, and they're pretty much gonna help me enhance these sounds. They're gonna help balance the sounds of all the sounds going on in the film. And
did you hire someone? Oh, are you talking about
with Ian? Yeah.
Okay, got you.
The E-Man.
The E-Man.
the actual E-Man.
Comments again. I don't.
I don't sell E, but now with this many people contacting me, it seems like quite the lucrative business.
Yes.
But I'm gonna work with him, and basically, when I go in and I'm recording this stuff, I'm recording the sounds, but when it comes to like the post, like adding the effects, I'm kind of going in just like guessing. I'm like, what if I move this level? Okay, that did this.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, I want more of that, and I don't know how to do more of that. They're gonna help me out with this, and we had this talk in which like we're gonna be working together on creating this sound. I told them like I want your creative input just as much as mine. Like this is our part right here. We're doing this together, and I really look forward to that, to show them what I have so far, get the kind of feedback, and just again like knowing that I got this ambience, and imagining like how it could be even better with someone who actually knows what they're doing, adjusting that sound and putting those effects in.
Yeah. Wow. So, wow, you gone pretty far then.
Yeah. I'm very far in my film. It's really fun. It's like this slow process because it's looking at these things. It's not having a studio. I don't have a Foley studio. I don't have a whole room of props and like, oh look, I found a square of just tile flooring. I'm just gonna step on that. So it's trying to like not just try to be accurate, but also think like, what would the audience just accept is the sound for this?
Well, yeah. Because well, that's Foley work in general, though.
It is in general, yeah. But I also think it's the thing that makes it the difficult part, because it's like, all right, I want to do Foley work, but it's like, what do I record? And some things I've done in which it's like, hey, that's working really well, and other things it's like, that wasn't how I wanted it. And thinking like, oh, you know what I need? Like, I try to get this like this creak of this like very solid looking nightstand, and I try to use this flimsy table I have, and it didn't make the same sounds, and I was like, oh, I need something that's like just, it feels heavier, and I'm looking around my room like, I don't have something like that. Like, where do I go? So yeah, that is what I would say is like the it's the fun and also the hard part of Foley working, which is just like me just sitting there just trying to think like, what the fuck do I record? Like, what can I record for this?
This also sounds like something that'd be fun in like a team. For like, oh, what if we did this? Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Like, yeah. So that's why a lot I saw some Foley work like on YouTube and all that, but basically, a lot of people like kind of collaborate and like, oh, use this or do this. So you're doing it by yourself. That's pretty impressive.
I'm doing it by myself. I've had there's also some onset sounds, which thank you, Scott. He was recording sounds of like every take, and even just like off on his own, like getting these sounds, and it's helping me out. Like, there's some really good ones there.
Nice.
And it's also nice knowing that this one will match the shot on its own. So yeah, I mean, I'm doing it by myself now, but it's not like completely alone. It's just really just recording and figuring it out. But if anybody wants to give me like, a square piece of tile flooring they have, toss it over here. That's the big thing too. I was recording footsteps,
Yeah.
And I'm recording it in my room that has a carpet floor, and it makes a difference.
Have you tried the walls?
I tried the walls, it makes a difference. Like, okay, if you put a shoe, if you just have a shoe with no foot in it, it's gonna sound a lot hollower than if you hit it. And if you put your hand in it, you're not covering all the surface that your foot would take. And when I was like, even doing the carpet flooring, it's like, well, you actually hear that brush of your foot in the carpet.
Yeah.
And it makes the difference. For when someone's in the garage and you hear with the steps.
Right.
It's so that's just like the difficult part I'm doing. And also there's this thing in which I actually am accurately getting the sounds recorded in them. And it doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
And it's more of a style aspect. So there's this character in the film that I want to have very heavy booming footsteps, like a real dun dun dun. And they're walking in the garage, and what I do is I get like a heavy boot. And I even like wear a wool sock to make sure the boot's full. And it's feeling solid. And when I took the hard steps, it had this tapping sound more to it. And it's like, well, no, this is exactly the sound that would have been made. It was the sound that was recorded on set. It's just that's what first steps sound like. But it's not the first steps I wanted. And that's where it's like not just Foley work. This is sound design. Like Foley work is when you just do the standard sounds of a film, but when you do sound design is when you're creating that sound you want. So that's where it's getting tricky again. That's where I'm like, I know Ian can help me, because it's like, what do you know about pitching things down? Because I pitch things down, and it also makes things at the same time slow down.
I feel like it would be like what's less. So it's not much about the accuracy of something. It's what works naturally with the flow of like the design with the sound overall.
If I'm trying to make it horror and trying to make it seem like this creature's steps are like the loudest thing ever, I need to make them different from your normal footstep. It also makes it otherworldly. Like I want the character looks very human in its silhouette, but I don't want people thinking it's completely human. And I think a great way to show that is also like when it steps, it doesn't sound like a human when it steps.
And like you definitely need to like modify some things rather than just like a simple kitchen floor or something like that.
And I don't know how to modify shit, so I'm honestly just trying to make booms naturally, and I'm like, is there an easier way? Can someone take these sounds and make them better?
Have you tried to look at YouTube?
And the thing is, it's like one thing after another. Like YouTube won't have everything specifically how you want it, because sometimes you want a very specific thing, and other times it's gonna talk to you, assuming you know the basics of the terminology for sound work, and if you don't know that, you're like, what do I do? Do I go to another YouTube video? Like at one point, it's too much time, and it's like I might as well just take a course in this. And then it makes me wonder, what did I do when I took that sound course at City College?
But wow. Awesome. Anything else?
I think nothing else I really want to like share here. I mean, I've been writing, but thing is, I'm keeping the script real secret. But a new page got added. What about you, man?
So I've been working on multiple projects, but ones more than others, like the Lifeguard 101. I've been doing.
It's on. You have it on Webtoons now, right?
I've been on Webtoons. It's only one episode, because the great thing about not having a deadline is now what I'm doing right now is I've been experimenting with the style of it. So I've been putting it on my personal Facebook, and I've been sharing with them, see how everyone reacts, and like it. Like I'm kind of going back and forth of like, okay, should I put color on this? Should I make it full color? Should I not minimalize the colors? And so far, I'm starting to hone in on a good style, right? Something that's not necessarily easy to do, but more. I want it to be more about the humor and the flow of the comedy, and rather than like how intricate the detail could be. Because I like the main goal of this is just to tell a story and make people laugh.
You told me like this comic was kind of like the most professional practice for you.
Yeah.
Because you said like if say like this really took off and people wanted to buy the rights, you would be like, yeah, sure, go for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, okay, whatever.
This is the one you're okay letting go.
Yeah,
but it's still like, fun, right?
It's super fun. I love it because at work I always am sketching ideas in my sketchbook. I have a shit ton that I have to work on, but it's not that I have to work on, but it's like I want to work on because it's like the one that I recently posted. This will eventually all be up later on Webtoons and like maybe other mediums. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
hopefully maybe by the time people hear this,
definitely.
Now you got a deadline. Like it would be good timing. People are curious now.
Yeah. So it started off as one thing and ended up as another. Like there is a part where I censor something, right? I censor a word. That wasn't originally supposed to be the idea, but I found it funny. Mm-hmm. So I put that last minute. And I was like, oh, it works, right? So it's like...
What was the word?
It was balls.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I can't explain it too much on the podcast, but basically it's just like finding that creative freedom to like be...
Well, you can say some part of it. He censored the word balls when someone was talking about their testicles.
Yes.
With a beach ball flying through the air. I actually thought that was very creative.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah.
And you have the style to your comic. Everything's pretty much black and white.
Yeah.
But the colors that always stand out is like red.
Yeah.
To show like, I think it's like because the lifeguard stands out with the red.
Exactly.
And when the beach ball came, you actually also made that. It wasn't red, it was like purple, yellow. Yeah. And it's because the beach ball is very vibrant.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of also helps with the focal point too, like where you're supposed to look at versus like, it kind of... I'm planning out the colors accordingly, not just because I need to put colors there. You know, I'm putting colors because it makes sense with like how the reader's supposed to read it. So, no, that's been very fun. So I've been working on the comic. I have also been doing something. It's very low key, and I don't want to share too much about it because I don't even think this is gonna go out to anyone. I don't even think I'm gonna like post it. It's just something kind of for my own fun. But remember how I said that there's always different ways of approaching a painting? Yeah. I'm finding like an extremely new one right now, and I've been having so much fun with it. Like basically, to give you the context, I'm just drawing video game characters, right, in different positions.
Like known video game characters.
Known video game characters. Like for example, I just drew Ryu from Street Fighter, right, in a different form, in a different type of way. But the process of doing it is completely new. Like I'm doing
this is like all Rule 34. That's why you're not gonna talk about it, huh? In a different way, huh? I'm catching on to your hints here.
Okay, yeah, it is a little NSFW. I'm in. But I'm doing it because it's like...
Wait, you're really doing it?
I'm actually serious.
Oh, you're doing the Rule 34?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Oh, shit.
He's
confessing it right here.
Okay, it's not specifically Rule 34, because Rule 34 means like some fucked up shit.
No, it doesn't. It just means it's a porn. And porn,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not porn though. It's like
I don't think you know the definition of Rule 34 at all.
Because then it's not Rule 34. It's
okay,
just like...
is there a dick out?
No.
Is there a vagina out?
No.
Boobs?
No.
All right, it's not Rule 34 then.
Yeah. It's like
wow, look at that. If I never asked you, you would just kept going.
I know.
People would think you're
because
going.
that's why I said it's not Rule 34. It's like
is it just sexy poses?
Yeah. Okay. It's just sexy poses, right? And I started doing because I was like, this. I don't know. I wanted to see how I do with it.
Describe Ryu to me. What's sexy? Like, is it shirt off? Are they
like shirt off. Like he has tight pants on, right? Like you can.
Is it like the elegant, subtle type of like? It's not like they're like squeezing. They're like he's not flexing his muscles, not squeezing breasts, but it's like they just are dressed in an attractive way. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they do have muscles going on and all that, but it's not like
constantly flexing. Like you want this?
Yeah. Well, it's like how do I describe it? It's not like it's not overboard like freaking like porn. You know, like whenever a porn is.
I'm not saying it's porn. I'm saying it sounds like it's the tasteful. Like it's like when a commercial shows like a perfume commercial, cologne shows someone like, they're very attractive.
Yes, you know? Exactly. You're
gonna have to post this now because I don't think many people are understanding.
I don't mind.
Someone out there still thinks Ryu has a dick out.
Well, there's this term called ecchi.
Yeah.
In anime, in which basically it means provocative imaging that's like there's a fine silver line between porn and like just a safe.
Yeah.
I'm right in the
Tell
middle.
that to my work. Am I right?
Well, it's basically like provocative photos that don't cross any barrier. Like it kind of leaves some stuff to the mind. But the reason I find it very interesting is because every detail matters. Because you can't just draw like a nice figure. There's some things that you have to focus on. Like, okay, how does the dimple of this muscle feel to the image? Like if a girl's in a sexy pose, right? It can't just be any a natural sexy pose. Like I guess even the detailing of like the folds of the clothes. Like how does it work out with like the sexiness or anything like that, right? It's just like it started going from like something fun to like I'm studying now. It's like what makes this a good painting? Like what makes this an attractive painting versus just something that just makes sense?
Hey, sounds like you're leveling up from when you were a kid, just drawing.
Yeah, exactly.
For fun, you're like, no, now I understand how to make this attractive. I'm not just drawing big boobies.
It's funny you mention that because that's exactly how I describe it. Before it's just fun, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, ooh, boobies, big boobies. But it's like, no, big boobies doesn't work all the time. It's how you portray like the pose. It's how you portray like their facial expressions and all that. Like I'm very surprised how interested I am in the fundamentals and the structure of the image rather than like what it's portraying, you know? So
it really makes you think about those people who do draw like Rule 34. Like, I mean, they're artists still. Yeah. And they do take time to make their work.
Yeah.
This is why right here.
Yeah. There's some professional like, you know, hentai artists in porn and all that. And yeah, it seems like, oh, like, ooh, like scandalous. But that actually takes work. It takes a lot of work because
we could probably find some things on the internet in which the people didn't do the work.
Yeah,
like they just drew it. You can tell the difference.
You could definitely.
You can tell who's an artist and who's Karen and who's not.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like props to them because that's actually hard work. I have spent almost 2 hours and I'm still not done with it because I'm just interested in like how do I make this pop more, you know. So, I don't.
Yeah, I
know, right? When you did that,
how to make it pop? Well,
well, just draw a huge willy.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be erect. Popping.
Popping. Popping.
So this is not something you plan to release. This is really just you're drawing it to learn from it and put it, not make your work etchy, the one you release, but just kind of like, oh, what did I learn from making like the art style, not the material, the style.
I probably post it like randomly on the internet, but it isn't going to be like something that defines my work. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just something that's just fun. Oh, I don't care if anyone claimes it. You can have
pretty much if you want. Yeah, you want to buy the rights to his etchy Street Fighters. I mean, he's willing to give it that way. Yeah.
I mean,
put in any gamer former you want.
Gonna go there. No, it's just it's something that I'm not. It's not my goal to share out. Like I'm not gonna push it out there. I'm gonna probably post it, not on my personal page or anything like that. But it's just something fun.
What would be your alias?
I was thinking Etchy Man.
Etchy Man.
Yeah.
That sounds like I mean, I guess it works. I feel like it's taken, but
I know.
I guess it's too straightforward.
Etchy Master.
I was hoping it would be like not Azero Alcala.
Yeah. But
and then in the description it says follow Lifeguard 101.
Well, if anyone who knows my art style, I think it'd actually be kind of hard to tell it's mine. Because it's actually completely different art style than mine. Unless you really, I'll show you later. Like,
I kind of want to see it now. You know, in a serious manner, not like
no.
Oh, give it to me.
But it's something like
now people are gonna think, oh, they're gonna go look at porn to get a this. No, it's etchy.
You have to really, really know me in order to see like, oh yeah, no, that is your style. Like maybe you can catch on, you personally can catch on, but everyone else who like generally knows my art style on Instagram and all that, they want to be.
Do you know you remember how you used to have that problem in which you kept drawing yourself on accident? Like that'd be the funniest thing in all your work. Even the females, like, these all look like you. Please stop showing.
Oh, you're not even trying this. You just photoshopped your head.
Yeah. You guys want a little story, and I think this is when it finally was over.
Yeah.
But for our art show that was nostalgia theme, and let me make this clear: we all like told Azero, like we always made a joke, like you always draw yourself, and he always said, "No, I didn't." It's like this looks like you. It has your features.
Yeah.
But he drew these he do Street Fighter characters from Street Fighter 5, more to be more specific. And I remember saying to you, is like, yeah, you know, what made you want to make yourself Ryu though? And you said, that's not me. I was like, yes, it is. It looks just like you. He's like, that's not me. It's like, it has your hair, it has your skin tone. Like, you made Ryu darker too. And you were like, it's not me. I was like, knock it off, because you thought I was fucking with you.
Yeah.
Anyways, so then I ask around at Syzygy, that art community, and when I forgot exactly I asked them, but then it would be like, wait, that's not a zero in the middle?
Oh
like, everybody
goodness.
thought that was a zero in the middle, and they all like, well, because you're the artist, right? And you're like, no, it's Ryu.
No.
And everyone was like, yeah, it's you as Ryu.
What?
And they also the same thing, is like, it has your hair, and it's like, even the beard, we were like, you have a beard. It wasn't as thick, but we're like, we thought that was like a mature you.
Yeah.
And then you finally like you listened to like all your housemates who kept saying like, no, it's not because we know you. We told you.
Yeah.
But it's not bad if you mean to.
I think the ones that stung the most was when people who don't know me are going up and complimenting me, like, oh my goodness, like you drew that, like, oh, you look so good, and you made yourself look good. And they didn't mean to do that. But it's like, I know how genuine they are, because damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
you
that's
just couldn't stop thinking about yourself. That's what that means.
It's so easy.
What's the perfect chin? Yes, that one. And the facial, it always makes someone poofy hair, makes everybody look better.
It's so easy to draw myself.
Yeah, because you know yourself.
I know, but
it's like when I read a script, I'm like, this is me. I did it again.
Yeah, you know what? That's funny. Some of your characters are like,
all of them are basically me in some way, but you can always pinpoint which one specifically is the most me. You know?
Yeah. That's funny. But and also I'm well, it's gonna be up by the time you guys hear this, but working on our cover art, so that's really fun.
On a what?
Cover art.
Oh yeah.
For the podcast. So I'm gonna be doing that literally right after the show too.
Oh yeah. So you guys are gonna see that when the first episode comes up. But yeah, just know that 3 episodes were recorded 3 weeks, and that's when he was working on it.
Yeah.
A lot of details.
A lot. And
you all see.
There's more to come. Like you'll see how much stuff we're gonna put in.
There's gonna be an etchy Ryu right there on his chapter.
No, I have to put that as one of my staples. Anyways, that's all I'm working on right now.
Yeah. Well,
I think
good.
that's a good about.
This is a good time to sign off.
Yeah.
Now we talked about catchphrases in the intro. Do we want to give a catchphrase for the outro?
Okay.
I think I'm saying a toodaloo, scootaloo.
I was thinking like, comment, subscribe. New videos every Tuesday. Follow us on Patreon. We don't
have any of that.
We don't have
Patreon.
We don't have.
We might
but
on YouTube.
if we do this for a while and we do have that, wow, we're gonna look like idiots.
Yeah, but now we're sounding cocky, making us sound very cocky. Like, people will pay us for this.
Yeah,
I think Toodaloo Scootaloo is already winning some votes over here.
No, they're not.
I can see some people probably like when they listen, like, I'm hoping they say that. Yeah, I like that. That gives me a smile. Try to say Toodaloo, Scootaloo without smiling.
I just don't want that to gain traction, because what if we get like fan mail, like somehow,
and then they say bye? What's our catchphrase? That's amazing.
Toodaloo, Scootaloo.
Yeah,
Toodaloo,
Scootaloo. That's a way to say bye. And Scootaloo.
What is Scootaloo?
Well, okay, two things.
Scoot along.
One, it rhymes, and two.
Okay.
It wasn't the origins of it, but there's a character in My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, named Scootaloo. She's awesome. There's now music playing in the background.
Yeah.
You guys like
this
that?
This is our outro.
Yeah, that's what we get for overstaying on welcome here. All right, well, Toodaloo, Scootaloo, we're out.